Hello, friends of Komodo platform. Yes, hello, friends of KMD. It's me, E. Giuliano. It's a good day today, friends, I think. You know, I hear some birds chirping. Sounds like the rains have stopped. Let's take a look at some of these price charts. What's going on? Oh my goodness. Yes. Well, you know, shipwreck type of stuff. And we're here. We may have found the shore finally. But are we on some deserted island? That's another story. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. I know we're all a little bit dizzy from this action here. However, it's time to put the hammer down. Can we? Can we put the hammer down? Yes, we're looking for the hammer to reverse. It's, well, 16:15-ish UTC, meaning there is still time for red candle. That would be horrible. But even within the green, you know, there's time here. But if we could just hold this shape, if we could hold this candle, that would mark a beautiful reversal. It would coincide quite nicely with reversing the MACD into a positive momentum. It would be a nice opportunity to reverse the RSI back into it, no longer in the oversold position. It's been how many days now? Since 11th June, let's say 12th of June. And now 28th of June. So legitimately 2 weeks here. Legitimately 2 weeks here in this oversold territory. Congratulations, Komodo platform. This was a rough 2 weeks, wasn't it? Holy moly. Now, one thing that is notable here. We are starting to get some signs of divergence. Now, this might just be a small little divergence here, maybe. However, whoops, the fact is that it's there. And so what do you think? Well, to me, all of these factors are contriving into, I mean, this would, the divergence itself would be more like this. But anyway, all of these factors are contriving into a bullish scenario. Okay, this is a KMD BTC chart. So we've got potential for a bullish scenario. Let's take a closer look. Let's squeeze you down a little bit and take a look where we came from, where we've been. Also, we recently finished the week. Today is Monday, June 28th. Thank you for being here. I hope you're doing well, all things considered. Now, this should not determine whether you are doing well or not. This is a bonus, right? All right, if we're doing it right, then this is not only a bonus, it is quite a nice opportunity for leveling up with some more KMD, if that's what you like. Okay, can level up with some more KMD, bringing that overall stack into a larger number and the overall price into a lower number, and bringing your potential gains into a higher level. Okay, as in maybe you're gonna do better because you were able to help yourself to some some of the scraps that people were throwing away, perfectly good food people throwing away there. You know, there are hungry children around the world. Now, I'm half joking, but it's like, you know, there are some people that are totally into trash. Well, KMD we know is not trash, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute about longer term. But let's just take a look here, shorter term. We'll say here, firstly, if we're looking the longest term, a retracement from these levels would nicely bring us to a 4,000 Satoshi level. So expect that move at some point. That's going to take longer. This would take much longer. And that's just this 4,000 Satoshi move of about 150%. Okay. So we can move that one to the side. Oops. We can move this one to the side. We've also got, and that's not even talking about the next levels, right? When we're having even a stronger bounce, but just imagine it's just bouncing to the 382 before finding, then that's where it's going to be roughly, okay? At about the 44,000 Satoshi level. And I mean, all this price action tells you that, okay? And you know how Komodo loves to wick, right? So get ready for that action, okay? So that's that story. A little bit longer term will be a nice 150% move at some point here. How long is that going to take? Not sure, because when we go into the longer time frames and look at actually what's happening time-wise, price-wise, we could start to get concerned. So let's see. Okay, next move would be roughly to this 20-day moving average. Okay, and that coincides on this end with these numbers over here, these price actions over here as supports. Okay, and so that will be roughly around the 2,500 Satoshi level. So let's give ourselves some levels here. We've got about this level here. We've got about this level here. Now these are regions, they're not just specifically a line. So, oops, I need to touch it again. So that's, you know, remember that it's not exactly. So you set your orders and forget them and go enjoy your life. Yes. So there's that one, there's that one. Let's change the colors a bit. Whoops. Change the color, put it yellow, that way it's more visible. And this green line here is where we are, and then this gray line here is basically the zero line. Okay, so that for the price to fall all this way, that would be to zero. That's the least likely scenario, but it is still possible. It is still possible. So the next move would be to roughly here. Oh, nice, about 50 to 60% move. Okay, so that seems good, a 50 to 60% move. That means, you know, a nice 50 to 60% move. Why not? Go for it. These are for all y'all traders out there. The next one would be roughly around the 200-day moving average. And if you notice, that coincides with this resistance zone here. And so what ends up happening, in fact, is we get a bit of this zoning, right? This kind of zone here is really, and you see through the up and down price action, will be a likely zone where we will get. So that becomes, oops, not date, price. That becomes anywhere from 50-ish% to roughly 100-ish%. Okay, that's around the 3,000 to 3,300 Satoshi level. Does that make sense? There is our step ladder, and here you go. I mean, this is basically a straight down move. When the market realizes that this move is not warranted, because see, we were always oscillating. Okay, we're always oscillating. So what does that mean? When the market realizes that move is a little bit too extreme to the downside, we're going to find some sort of reversion to the mean. And in this case, that looks like this regression line here. We went too high above it. Okay, we were okay when we were touching it here. We went a little too high, came back to touch it. Wow, we went too high. We went so high up here that we had to come down and oppose it in order to make sure that we can find the mean properly. Okay, that's just how the market works. It's interesting how it does that, but you know, the next move, eventually we're going to get to this line again. It's just, there's no doubt, unless Komodo is dead, but it's not going to die. That's nearly for sure. Okay, of course, with not a zero probability, but close enough to zero that I would consider. And then, so it's not going to die, and it's good. It's good. I mean, sure, KMD, the token itself, there's coin, like the community coin, let's call it here, itself is not, it's not Pirate Chain with the 100% ZK Snarf privacy. It's not, let's say, Marmara credit loops, and it's not Collider, it's not Varus, and it's definitely not Shiba Inu, and it's not Dogecoin even. It's not Cardano, it's none of those. It's Komodo and it's KMD, and what it is its own independent community currency, which provides an easy way to swap between all kinds of pairs. It's a great base currency for this ecosystem, and it's not going anywhere. And as the ecosystem grows, which it inevitably is and will continue to do, then it just comes into the fold. If you haven't read the JL777 article about it, read about the token and the coins and the network effect, okay? But patience is required. You gotta be patient, because look, this is not the hype of Cardano. It's not there. So it's not gonna get that play, unfortunately, because you know what Komodo brings and offers is, in my opinion, is top 5. I mean, whatever. That's just my crappy little unwarranted, uncared about position, okay? Like, where are we going here? We're going down here? Okay, maybe. Pick more up then. What can we say? Because at some point, the chart turns around. That's just how it goes. And right now, the composite operator is freaking feasting on all of this accumulation, This is no longer a redistribution in the sense of what it used to be. You know, when it would come down and then hang out here, and redistribution. This is redistribution people are talking about these days. And then here, even a bit of redistribution, you might call it, but I would consider this to be a considerable accumulation. And that's part of the redistribution, I guess. If what's going to happen is over the next while, let's say into 2022, let's say we get ourselves another, you know, we're going to move up, we're going to move down, right? Maybe not as much. We'll see what it needs, right? This is not the time frame that it's going to do it. You know, maybe it would be more along something like this, where it comes up, and maybe it goes up, whatever, right? Who knows? And eventually we're there. Okay, maybe this happens and it's compressed, and it happens just here, and then we're there, and then we're back sideways again. Maybe we go up and then we spring, and then we test that spring. You know, I don't know exactly the way it's going to go. Who amongst us even considered this recent dump? Who amongst us? We considered it. I hope you considered it. I considered it, but did I consider it likely? I did not. I expected us, okay, fine, we can break down below this regression trend line here. But to break it down with this force and this this speed, you know, the time and price action here, so little time, so much price dump. This is quite unprecedented, and will probably be looked back upon as an interesting time in the history of this price chart right here. Yeah, because it coincides with the whole delisting and all that. Okay, so there we are. There we have it. That's the basic idea. We are eventually coming back to this line. That's going to take a lot longer, but we will find our 50% move, our 100% move, our 150% move eventually. And then from there, what does it become? We can find ourselves a nice 300% move and beyond, okay? 400, 500% move is incoming. Depends how long you want to hold, depends how you want to play the market, the price action. That's up to you. None of this is financial advice. This is all entertainment, education, and a look into the past from the future that we can see. At one point we were down here, and this is what was happening at these price charts. And now, where are we? Well, that's going to be then, which is some point over here, maybe 2023, 2024, 2025. Okay, at some point, this sucker turns into an uptrend. And that's what I wanted to get into briefly. This is a daily chart, but when we look at the week and we start looking at some closings, how is it closing? And then you start to see actually quite an interesting thing occurring. Well, firstly, the Ichimoku cloud keeps getting lower. Although we have a bit of a bump up here, so we'll see what that's about. But interestingly, wow. Interestingly, on the weekly, okay, if you notice, on the weekly, we are potentially, well, we have actually, because it did close, okay? It made itself a higher low here. It is higher than this level, which was in the 1440 Satoshi level-ish, okay? And this one closed around the 1563 Satoshi level-ish. We're gonna just show the candles to see too that we had even an intra-week trading down into the 1300s, even arguably high 12, so about 1300 Satoshi level, okay? Now also one thing I wanna note is that, oops, this is our current week here of 28th June. If it's a bit of a flat week in the BTC chart, this could actually be a nice little turnaround candle. If we can get more of green in here, that would be even better. However, this turnaround candle itself was not, it wasn't an overly, look, it's a half and a half candle. The time that was, sorry, the price that is above and below the body of the candle is roughly the same, okay? And not only that, the body itself, yeah, it's right in it's in the middle. It's green though, so that tells you that it's on the positive price action side of things. But to say that this would be the turnaround candle, this looks definitely like a pausing candle. And yes, in the market turnarounds, this could definitely be a turnaround candle, especially because it's green, not red, okay? Yeah, equally so over here. All right, let's watch this week. The candle is a very important candle this week to play off of this previous week and this previous week and this previous week. Oh mother, 3 weeks. Now that's another thing that gives us an idea here, because oftentimes you'll have 3 in a row and then you might have a change, a reversal. So even if we're going to continue lower, and hey, we still could make lower lows on a closing level, okay? We could make lower lows on a closing level. And we definitely could make lower lows trading intraday, or intra-week, sorry. But it's looking like after 3 of these down candles, and this turnaround candle is starting to build. Okay, we are just the first day, so hey, nothing's stopping KMD from dumping further. All right. But needless to say, it's looking good. It's looking positive. We're in the 1600 Satoshi level. Yesterday or this last week traded into the 15s and arguably into the high 14s. And yeah, that's quite interesting. So it looks like the 1500 level did hold. I had mentioned that it was a good chance we were coming down there, and we did. So we can take a look at that, further as the next week or two plays out and we see what's going on. All right, but I see that we could be out of these thick woods. We could be back on the shore from this drowning scenario. We didn't quite get to the deepest of depths, but we were close, friends. We were close. All right. Here's a 4-hour chart on the KMD BTC. And yep, nothing is exactly telling us what's going to happen next. So just be aware there is, yeah, we're down on the volume, up on the price. Yeah, who's to say at this point, right? Could continue lower, but at this time, I think we're due for a little bit breaking, into the mid range of this RSI. And I think we're also looking like we're moving potentially into a positive territory for the 4 hours. So there you go. Next couple of days might be, or next day, yeah, couple of days might be a positive for KMD. Let's keep an eye out there. And that's KMD BTC. All right, so that's good. As maybe BTC stabilizes, maybe BTC has found its bottom, BTC USD. And in that case, then if it starts stabilizing around the 33, 34,000 level, then the alts can also find some stability with some higher USD prices associated with higher alt BTC prices, right? Because the BTC USD price will go up, it'll stabilize there, and then the alt BTC prices can go up and bring their USD prices up a bit too. So speaking of which, this was, yeah, so this is the closing of the weekly. So we are basically 100% retraced of this move. So in one way that sucks, and in another way, that's good sign that if you can grab some here, you got a chance to continue with another massive move to the upside. And that's just the beginning, right? That is just the beginning of the story. We're talking potentials for, 500%, but then beyond that, we start getting into the 1,000% levels, okay, 1,500% levels. If this chart is a chart like every other chart, and KMD will live a life that's long and prosperous, then eventually there is going to be some price action that reaches into the higher levels. Unless, of course, look, we're dealing with the alt BTC chart. BTC is a beast unto its own, and becoming a global settlement layer, store of value reference point for real, outside of any government manipulation, that could be a huge game changer. But nevertheless, like, that doesn't, again, a chart is a chart. A chart is a chart, and it follows the forces of nature. And part of those forces of nature are forces of physics. And therefore, there is psychological physics involved with these charts, as long as the underlying market itself, in this case, a crypto market of KMD, the community coin of Komodo platform, if that market itself has a life which is, basically a successful life, then this unsuccessful, let's call it, part of the chart will be related to a successful part of the chart, which takes back this space. This space has been available, and if KMD lives long enough, it will reclaim this space eventually. All right, time frames not certain. Okay, time frames are not certain, but if things pop off by 2022, 2023 time frame, like even into that type of time frame, although the full retracement of the huge down move is not necessarily expected, okay, especially the way KMD is behaving short term and basically based on, like hype is a huge thing, right? Anyway, besides the point. Once the hype dies down and the real use happens, here's KMD and Komodo platform to supply all of the people with tools and things that they need. Okay, so yeah, even into 2022, we could see ourselves at at an 18,000-20,000 Satoshi level. It's possible. I can see that. I could definitely see that. So let's go for 1,000%, friends. Let's do it. I'll be here with you for this 1000%, dead or alive. All right. That's it for now on the KMD BTC. Whoops. We want to continue sharing that. Pressing the wrong button because I got excited for the future, but I'm also very excited for the present moment. That's because we're going to look at this KMD USDT chart as a daily price action. We're finding this support here. We're zooming in and seeing much similarities. Look at that. Okay, possible reversal candle here. That would be lovely. Signs on the MACD. Looks like it would like to get into a positive momentum. So maybe this, same thing with the RSI. Maybe this is time for alts in their alt BTC and alt USDT to find even more upside. Nothing huge, but yeah, we could find ourselves with, let's say here, say we go to the 20-day average. Again, we find ourselves with, in the USD price, a good, roughly 50%. So you could give yourself a good 50%, let's say, a good chance for that. So who wants 50%? Come take it. Who wants, let's see, the next level will probably be something around here. Yeah, oh yeah, it's $1, psychological level for sure. See, I was looking at the price action. I wasn't even looking over on the right at the actual price. So here is roughly $1 to $1.20. That's gonna definitely be a range. So $1 to $1.20. So here's $1 is about 90%, 85, 90%. $1.20, $1.15 is 100%. So you can look for that for yourself. Okay, those are the first two. You get a 50 and you get a %. Who wants it? Take it. Okay. Then the next one, a little bit later, and who knows, it could be a very close together, would be 150%. You know how these volatility crypto markets go. You get the 150% and then back down. Nothing's stopping it. Don't complain, eh? If it goes 150% within, a little bit, I'm not saying even 100%, it goes 100%, right? Even 50%, okay? And then comes back down. So, but yeah, like, imagine 100% is a huge move in any market, price market, right? Go up 100%, but then you come back down 50%, let's say. Anyway, that's what it is. Friends, are you thinking long-term? Are you thinking short-term? You're thinking trading and building some sort of portfolio stack of tradable funds? Or are you thinking about accumulating, holding, and going on with your life until the time comes? All right. Okay, that's it for now. I don't have much more to say. I hope the point was made, and I look forward to this being the turnaround with you. All right. Take care of yourselves, friends. Love you. Peace, happiness, and all that stuff that you so desire. Until next time. All right, Giuliano says goodbye. Did I just speak about myself in the third person? Oh my goodness. Until next time.